We are here for week 136 of the Challenge Series. The postponed qualifiers are here for the World Circuit Tours Championship. That was originally meant to be this week, but complications arose. Complications continue to arise, and it's chaos. It's chaos. I kind of hate it. But it shouldn't be chaos forever. But in the meantime, the main thing to focus on for you, the viewer, is the racing action. No matter how much chaos is going on, that's not going anywhere. You start things off at Interlagos for a set of qualifiers that will take us to 4 different continents. Not quite a 5th. We were just at Bathurst. But nevertheless, let's head down to trackside for the first round of qualifiers. We are away from Interlagos, and for the unengaged, as a quick reminder, it is the top 4 finishers from this race that will move themselves on to the World Circuit Tours Championship. This is the way that most championships work. However, the season finale championship, the Challenge Series World Series, it does not work that way, and will be based solely off of qualifying teams on our first come, first serve basis. Jesus, Liz. Here we put our POV driver damn near out of the race. That maneuver. Logan Cool and his fire chicken, no longer a rally chicken. Not making a ton of progress, but he has finally found a clean lane to use, and he will use it to pick up 5 places in a single turn. Interesting. That's interesting too, but I don't know how that converted into 3 more places, or 2 more, possibly a 3rd on Hanamaru, and yes. Interlagos doesn't strike me as a track that necessarily suits the Firebird. All of these slow speed hairpins seem like they would very much counteract the strengths and weaknesses of something like this car. Into the top 10 for Logan. At the current moment, we're actually seeing Ryza. Oh, Noir's been damaged. She did it to herself, but whoever she did it to didn't affect them any. We're currently seeing. Well, now it's just Ryza in 4th. I was gonna say Ryza's about to try and fight Pepper Mills for the spot, but I think after she saw Noir head to the pit lane and saw that she was now in 4th, I think she just backed off. Logan passing Yo Watanabe to turn 4. Yo now being maybe used up a little by Daniel Grimes Jr. in the Mustang. That was a weird sudden stop on the replay camera there. Did he drop it or something? It is Scarborough leads in his MP412C. Then it is Japan, and then Germany, and Logan is after our probationary driver, Penny Golden. He's basically only still here on a lot of mercy and a big exception. So, after all the shit that she and Reiko Mishima have done lately, they're on a tight leash. And Logan will get ahead of her, seemingly with no real issues. Maybe she's finally learning. It would take him long enough. This is a big sudden lane change for Ryza and for Pepper that Logan has barely enough time to respond to, but Logan will move all the way up to 3rd. Oh. Contact made. Looks like Penny didn't do it though. Yeah, Ryza loses control under braking think the suspension was too soft. She ends up sending it on Logan after that, but only after tagging Pepper and causing Fenny to have no chance to react to the accordion effect. This, however, ended up not even affecting Raiza herself, only the two cars that got involved with her. Fenny, despite having damage and will inevitably be pitting at the end of this lap, still overtakes Raiza just to send a message. One of the ways to send a message of "I didn't like that," aggressively passing without contact, is, well, I guess it's a better way than just slamming her out of the way, like she would have probably done if this were 2 or 3 weeks ago. Logan now working on the two leaders, Scarborough and Lipa. This is really Lipa's first really good outing, it seems like. She hasn't really had the best time here in the Challenge Series. She hasn't really produced many good results. And this is running here in third is probably the first good result he's put up in a while. Logan versus Jake for the lead, heading to the final corner. Glock is not involved, but there is still definitely a McLaren. But it looks like the Firebird will be cleared as soon as Logan can put the pedal to the floor. The McLaren just has nothing to offer that thing in terms of power, which seems kind of funny to think. Fenny ends up in the pit lane, Pepper joins her. And now it seems like the final transfer spot will simply be contested between Daniel Grimes Jr. and Raiza Lynn Stout. Yo's kind of a little too far back to really do anything as long as these two don't wreck each other. In the meantime, though, Lipa looks like she's going to try and take second away from Jake. Down the inside, huge send under braking. Rough foot fair. Jake just shrugs that off. Just didn't even really bat an eye at that. That's lost them both time. Now Raiza has caught them both, and she has brought a Mustang with her. Now it gets interesting, I would say. As, well, now all 4 of these cars, one of them isn't making it, and it could be any one of the 4. And if somebody up here around here makes contact in any of these braking zones, it's going to be absolute discord. Logan is gone. He's checked out. So we instead will just focus on, well, the battle for second, which is also just more importantly, the battle for the transfer positions. A bit of separation, but it looks like Daniel Grimes has a bit of a run on that C63, but his line got blocked. Down the inside goes the Mustang, despite losing some momentum. Can he convert around the outside of 2? Promising. The Mustang is clear. Can Raiza respond going into turn 4? Or is she out of the picture? Lipa sends it down the inside again at turn 4 up ahead. While we're looking away at the battle for 4th, Lipa just says, "I'll take that, thank you." That does matter because it, you know, as with any of the other championships that we have run, your starting position in the first race of the championship is determined by where you finish in the race you qualified for. So by making that overtake, Lipa has increased her starting grid spot from 11th to 6th. Daniel Grimes Jr. will be starting 16th if he can keep that C63 at bay, or he can move up to 11th if he can pass Jake at the 11th hour. But with just one more corner to go, it is quite clear that one of our admin boys has secured a pole position for the World Circuit Tours Championship. Let those 570 horses sing, Logan. You have won from Interlagos, and we'll start on pole for the first round. Lipa will go to second. Battle for third. It's a drag race that Jake Scarborough will narrowly win to hang on to third place. Daniel Grimes will grab the final qualifying spot. And Raiza Stout goes home unfulfilled, I think is a way of putting that. No further ado, on to round 2, bars. Daytona! I can't think of anything that rhymes. Oh, yeah, race 2 of the week brings us from South America to North America for the Daytona International Speedway. In real life, the Rolex 24 wasn't too long ago, though that was, you know, the end of January. While in universe, this is like the end of October. We're like around Halloween right now. So it'll be nice and relatively cool here at this late evening event. Should have a fresh batch of people trying to make their way in. Zoom all the way in. We are green from Daytona, and my god, that inside lane is not moving. Our POV driver, Keiko Silica, is going to gain 11 places before she even has to turn in for the first corner. Courtesy of one of the new drivers in the race, that's not you, Isidora Battle in a Group 4 Suzuki Swift. Being front-wheel drive is completely misjudging that corner. That was... This guy's the Le Mans category winner, by the way. I'd just like to point that out. I don't know what the hell I just looked at. Anyway, up to 7th already is Silica in the Celica. Guess that was on purpose on her part. The Toyota Celica, or the Silica Celica. However you want to say it. Either one has been used before. That is a huge run onto the banking. Dusts Tyler like he's not even moving. Outdrags a Mustang like it's on cruise control. Yoshiko is blocking the Dodge Challenger. Pair of Castrol, late defense. That was a weird camera angle. That was a weird camera angle to see that from. And so here's the chase cam view from Silica of what she just saw and why she just freaked out. She goes down the inside, but Dos.0 does it at the same time. And while Silica gets the move done, I think she panics a little, loses track of where she is on the straightaway, and brakes very early. But even so, that doesn't seem to change anything. She's gonna get a good run from the bus stop regardless. And now, she is going to get ahead of the two Castrol-themed leaders. Yes, this was the front row, by the way. Castrol Supra and the Castrol Mustang, whose livery is a reference to a real-life NASCAR livery that ran. That references the actual Castrol Tom Supra. It's as confusing as it sounds, while also being completely straightforward at the same time. I don't know. That is a cluster of cars right there. We got a pack of 7. As you can tell, we definitely have a lot of new names on the leaderboard for this race. Basically an entire team of new guys, and you can see the unfortunate state of affairs there on the recorder panel. Yeah, all the new drivers are competing for Avenir. What the fuck? Oh, well, first of all, Yoshiko just... Oh, whoops. Wow. Axel just pushed Tyler into the back of one of the new guys, Perry Good, in the Mustang. And we have the Scotsman Kent Hunt in the Dodge Challenger with a terrifying amount of horsepower, I must be honest. Oh, what the fuck? Silica got to the lead, despite Akira nearly putting her in the grass. Oh, Dos.0 getting a little pushy with Akira as well. Probably because of the fact that I know that most of Demon Sports and most of the Art of Speed team are kind of on good terms and like generally friendly, the same way that they are with what we once knew as Mercury Racing as well as with Aqua. But yeah, Kent Hunt in the Challenger, Perry Good in this Mustang, Bob Spector in this 350Z, Samson Tate in NSX with the camera freaking out, Rizzo Ando in a Maserati Gran Turismo, Angel Cruz in an R8, and Isidora Battle in a Suzuki Swift that doesn't know how to take a hairpin. But out of those 7, the only one currently in contention for a transfer spot is Hunt, who is in 2nd place and setting top speed records down the front straightaway. 198 at the start line, 200 at the breaking point. That is ridiculous for a Dodge Challenger, especially an 1870 Dodge Challenger. And he sends it under the braking too. He knows exactly what that car can do. And I'm scared. Considering this team is for this group of guys, they don't have a team name because they're just running under Avenir Motors right now, alongside me. But I ended up not really sharing a track with them at any point. Oh, Silica has miscalculated. That's not going to be good for business, but I don't think Hunt is close enough to really take the spot away. Replay cameras caught this. I totally forgot to go over it. The lightest of bumps, but it's a very situation critical type of thing that you wouldn't even really think twice about that if you're most people, but this is Demon Sports. And although I'm sure Thea didn't really care too much, her brother behind her is known to go postal like a UPS truck at the best of times. So hopefully Buck never gets that opportunity. Deplane. Halfway through lap 3. And yeah, Hunt is still very much, well, in the hunt. Axel Valentine right there with him. And Taniguchi and Dos Point are fighting. Mika Harris is also with them. Dos Point has a good run. Oh, suddenly blocked by Akira. I like how that engine wasn't either the 3 we were looking at. That was Axel's car running closer to the replay cam. Looks like Dos Point still gonna have a run. Gives Akira a bit of a door check just to basically say, hey, screw that noise. Sends it under braking. Mika pushing her through. And I think Mika's gonna follow her ahead of the Supra. Akira loses 2 places in a single corner. Oh my word, what is going on up here? Jesus, Silica just has to steer out of that. There's a projectile Dodge Challenger. At least he has the courtesy to move over. But geez, that was a send from many car lengths back. Doesn't do it again here. Despite the fact that Silica clearly took a line that expected him to do so. Kent has proven that he is going to get wild if it means getting a position. Even if it's a position that doesn't change much, because the top 4 transfer. It's not like we're going for the win. I mean, you definitely should go for the win if you can, but you don't need to put this much into it and risk damaging your car and taking yourself out of contention altogether. That's a line. Oh. Well, I guess Thea kind of got her back. That's a little bump, but while she didn't take the spot away from it, she's actually damaged Veronica's car, which is going to do much more than just take a single position away. It's going to knock Veronica back to well, I guess probably 14th as 2 teammates are fighting. This entire area back here is mostly with Avenir Motors. They all got kind of oofed on lap 1 in some way, shape, or form, except for Hunt. And I guess also Bob Spector, but he doesn't seem to have much pace to show anyway, so it doesn't matter. The white flag is in the air for Silica, but she is absolutely not home free. and neither are my lungs. Painful coughing. Does Hunt send it again at the International Horseshoe? He darn well tried, but I think Celica actually blocked the lane he wanted to use for that, which prevented him from doing anything particularly aggressive. That's probably Hunt's biggest chance behind us now, so it may indeed now be home free for the Celica driver, but I mean, the bus stop still can work. He's definitely not in any kind of range to do it from here on the exit of the infield. Despite Celica's really mediocre apex speed, don't think it's gonna matter too much, though. And there isn't really a battle on the track for any transfer spots. Ghost.0 is pretty safe-ishly ahead of Mika Harris, and Mika doesn't have any kind of momentum on her side either, so she's not getting any closer. Yep, that's a solid bus stop for the 410 car. I think it seems Celica's got it. Yeah, he can't hold much speed on the banking. Celica's car is lighter and is victorious from Daytona. Kent Hunt second on debut, Axel Valentine third, and Dos.0 fourth place. Call it 2 Demon Sports reps going to the championship next week. But we have 4 different teams going here. 2 that made it. 2 that had a car make it at the end of the last race, which would be Art of Speed and Demon Sports sending 2 drivers apiece now. Art of Speed with Letha and Celica, Demon Sports with Logan and Dos.0. But Avenir Motors will be sending Kent Hunt, and Black Stallion Motorsports will be sending Axel Valentine. This is shaping up to be a fiercely competitive grid already, and we haven't even settled half of it yet. We have traveled to Spain, and I have traveled to Congested Lungs for the 3rd race of the week, the 3rd qualifying round. A 3rd different continent. Now moving to Western Europe. Rallycross circuit on the inside. We're definitely not using that. We're using the no chicane layout, because that is the only valid layout in my eyes. That chicane is garbage, and any layout that uses it is invalid. We are away from Barcelona, Catalunya. Same thing. I don't know why the track needs 2 names. Our POV driver is Liza Kaiser in the 993 Porsche. Already being a little covered off by Fenny. We're gonna have to live with me clear my throat a bunch. It will not listen to me at all at the moment. On the outside of turn 3, Liza cannot find much momentum though. Buck sending it into the back of Bernice. How are neither of those cars damaged? I don't know. This race has a grand total of 1 new car competing somewhere. I think I scrolled past him like an idiot. Yes, the Hyundai Ioniq 5, driven by Lightning. Well, that's a mistake. They're supposed to take that off the back bumper. Yeah, Lightning got fired last week despite winning the race. Hi, Stephanie. Jesus. It was a very interesting case that he got fired. I guess they don't want to hire... I guess they don't want to hire demons anymore than they want to hire women, clearly. nothing to say there for a sec. I just zoned out. Let's see. Noir has moved herself into the top 4. She's taken that transfer spot. She's now taking 3rd spot from Hanamaru in the M3, possibly. Not quite. We should have it now. Yep. Barbara leads the way. Yo and Hanamaru for Team Aqua in 2nd and 4th. But Stephanie Kaiser looks poised to adjust to that. Liza is on her way to presumably to join her daughter in the battle, as Stephanie is now actually being overtaken by Pepper. Actually, no, I think Pepper was defending from her, and therefore she has gotten ahead of her. No, yeah, no, I was right the first time. Pepper attacked. Stephanie just outdrove her on exit. That thing is so awkwardly big and has so much aero on it. It's funny. Compare that to a BMW M3, which is by no means a small car. Begstrom is down the inside as we speak, but that will not work. The exit is much too linear for him to out accelerate an electric car. The one thing they can do is accelerate. Plenty of bits sideways ahead of these two. Liza will take Jean Casillas around the outside of the final turn, but that will quickly be erased as that C3 Corvette has a lot of horsepower. To the surprise of nobody, I mean, it's that same horsepower that's powering the race leader, and she is effectively uncontested despite Noir's 48.2 on the previous lap, which is a pretty fast lap time around here, for this car category especially. Noir might actually be putting up a fight here, and I didn't really see that coming, I must be honest. Down the inside, just forced her will upon Barbara. Stephanie also overtakes Hanamaru for 3rd. Yo really has fallen down the order. What in the world happened to you? She was 3rd crossing the line to start the lap. Oh, Stephanie just dusted Hanamaru. And then went down the inside of Yo at turn 1. So that's how she goes to 4th. Hanamaru, I guess, just followed Stephanie ahead of her teammate. Alright, and there's 5th. And Yo's offline now, so Pepper was able to just get a better run through 3 and dive the Evo at turn 4. No? Yes. Yo missed the corner. That's the issue there. So Noir took the lead on a late lunge. Pepper took 5th from the late lunge. Lungs! Barbara is coming back at her though. This is 2 of the fastest drivers in the series. There's not really much to argue that. I don't know how she got a better run through there with that line, but Barbara reclaims the lead. Stephanie is there to fight now. And Stephanie's mother has crawled into the top 10 and has quite a run out of turn 9. She might get 2 cars at once here. Nope, Kevin Begstrom will block that. Oh, can't even cut back on Yo. She has thoroughly parked the bus on the exit of turn 10. But the Porsche is more agile than the Evo and will get ahead through there. Looking back up near the front. Top 3 are kind of breaking away. Hanamaru is just kind of hoping Pepper doesn't get much closer. Larison is of no threat because that thing can't even exceed 160 miles an hour. Drag race between Kaiser and Begstrom. But Kaiser's behind that big, huge Ioniq, which is cutting through the air much more efficiently than an NSX. Well, okay, it's not, but it's moving. It's more effective as a slipstream partner because it's bigger. So Liza is up to 7th. Stephanie is up to 2nd, and that was just routine out dragging the TVR. That is wild. I don't know what kind of horsepower that Porsche is pushing, but that is ridiculous. Liza tries to get crafty against the Hyundai. That should be the easiest one to pass in this section, considering it's so heavy. But somehow Lightning is instead turning defense into offense, damn near ran Pepper Mills over at the exit of 5. Stephanie could be chasing down Barbara soon. I don't think Noir has an answer for that Porsche. A lap and change to go from Barcelona, and there's still a bit to play for. Hanamaru has 4th at the moment, but there's 3 cars that I'm pretty sure are all just a touch faster than her. All within striking distance if they can just get a good chance, but they're just not able to because Lightning, Pepper, and Liza have been fighting for 5th for the last lap or so. Oh, that was an interaction. Up to 5th for Liza, maybe? After Pepper took a very slow penultimate turn? Seems that way. Can the 993 out-drag the heavily modified E30? Looking like it. Oh yeah, that is Dunzo. Down the inside. Even at the braking point. Whoa, that was some... Excuse me. My lungs are I need a drink break. Holy shit. What is going on in there? Oh, Hanamaru blocks. She is fending for her life because she knows this is the most important place on the track except for the first position. And neither of them are anywhere near that. Liza is either flipping the bird out the window or she's having the time of her life in that car right now. There's no in between. This is a real battle, despite the fact that Hanamaru is usually more timid, or at least passive aggressive. That is an awful turn 7 for the M3. Liza will take that for free. Never mind, the send from Hanamaru at turn 9 of all places. Not much contact, but still definitely forced Liza to change the way she made the corner. Oh, Lightning's gonna get into the back of Liza. Yeah, I'd be beeping at that too. That just cost them both a chance at qualifying because Hanamaru's just gonna get away. Barbara will come out of the last turn. Stephanie is right on her heels, but it doesn't matter. That's the checkered flag. Barbara is your winner. Stephanie will grab 2nd. Noir will transfer in with 3rd. And Hanamaru is going to get bailed out and take 4th away from Liza. I mean, just look at this. Just goes bowling for German sports cars and completely barges Liza out of the way. Also gets a hit in on Hanamaru, but it doesn't seem to affect her as much because she's already at the apex when pretty much... Well, actually, not really, just a glancing blow. What's weird, though, is that this wasn't really a bad braking point. It's just that this car is so much heavier. That's about where Hanamaru broke. But this thing weighs nearly 2 tons. Well, they even missed some Avenir logos on the hood. I can assure you, he's not on this team still. They just did an awful job replacing the logos with WeatherTech logos. But it just, the car does not get woed down and finds the back of a 993. And as we watch Liza pushing the car now just to try and get back even just to Lightning, if not to Hanamaru. Takes the Ionic. Oh no, crosses him over. Crossover attack. That's how she gets back to 5th. But it's ultimately a mere consolation. That's not the top force. Liza Kaiser will not make the World Circuit Tours with that result. Despite the fact that her daughter did, and was not far off of winning the race. Dramatic scenes here from Catalonia. From Western Europe to Southern Europe, I guess. It's still definitely Europe. I'm not pretending like this is the fifth continent, but we are here. It's a fifth landmass. Italy is basically an island, but we are here for the fourth race of the qualifiers for the World Circuit Tours, and we head to one of the most famous world circuits, Monza, home of Scuderia Firenze and dumb chicane designs, which is why we're running the layout that ignores one of them. Yeah, there you go. You can see by the cone layout there, we are taking no chicanes on the front straightaway. We are just heading straight to Curva Grande. Which some people say that this is a terrible idea and it's not going to be safe, but others say it should allow for a more simplistic run into turn 1, as it's not a super heavy braking zone and we won't be playing as much ping pong. That's the theory, anyway, but only time will tell, and by time I mean the next 5 laps of racing action, if it'll actually hold true or not. We are green from Monza, and Scuderia Firenze is in full effect here. They have basically been preparing for this specific race. And even then, we got a couple of other Italian home turf drivers that are not on that team. But it is Veronica Cazzaroghi that is the POV driver of this event. We were about right, there isn't any ping pong through there. Everybody got it slowed down to about the 140 area. Here, however, might be a different story. Oh yeah, there's the ping pong, there's the madness. Make a roll of the dice if your car got through with no damage. I don't see how that's any better. We've just moved where the chaos happens, we haven't gotten rid of it. Who doesn't have damage? The top 6 is clean. Yoshiko is somehow clean. Veronica, because she just took a completely different lane from the rest of the pack. Alright. We have 8 cars out of 20 who survived the second chicane, which is now the first chicane. Isabelle is hot on Eric's heels, but it's really just the top 4 that matter. And it is a battle between Scuderia Firenze and Pacific Spirit Racing in the making. 1-3 for the Scuderia, 4-5 for Pacific Spirit. Mika Harris, I think, is on the grid. Yeah, there she is in the GT40, but she was not clean of the chaos at turn 2. I've lost track of our POV driver. They're already in 6th. Holy crap. She has already overtaken all of the cars that had damage. They are 3 wide for the race lead. Francesca Firenze is going to get all 3. What? No, both of them. Dom DePrisco is going to try the same thing. What in the hell? Is this a drag race now? We're playing Need for Speed Underground 2, I guess. Eric goes from 1st to 4th on one straightaway. Somehow he found a way to have a Ferrari be the weakest on the straightaway. And he goes to 5th now as Cazzaroghi out-corners him. Oh, jeez, Ice. Also, the Italian of Gina Turini was one of the cars that stayed clean on lap 1, so she's just hanging on to 7th by default. And Yoshiko is the last running car that got no damage. Therese White leading the cars that did, about a chicane and a half away. Oh. Isabelle defended into the second Lesmo turn. And Veronica got a run, but Isabelle covered it off at the last minute. Admittedly, I think it's a little ambitious to try and put your car there when you had like 4 whole lanes on the right. But nevertheless... yeah, there it is. I just was cruising for that. Just the braking point didn't damage Eric's car, but that is a very expensive late braking attempt. That is like $25 million involved in that collision. Look at all these really expensive supercars. We got a $20 million Miura, like $3 million Ferrari GTO. NSXs ain't cheap. This thing's probably $300K. A few $100,000 on the Countach and another like $600K on the Testarossa. And we just have like a 40 grand Mustang running with them at Monza. Same horsepower practically too, just less aerodynamic. But aerodynamics are for people who can't build engines, like Honda apparently. Not that it's stopping Veronica much. Yeah, Ice will resort to the pit lane. But he's probably not going to lose many places just because everybody is so spread out, because everybody else already had damage at one point in the race. Nearly 200 for the NSX. I'm sure there are cars like Bernice that are hitting 200 down the straightaway. But Veronica cannot find a move to make on Dom nor Francesca. It's a good exit from the chicane though, and she might have a chance at Dom right here in the Lesmos. If the camera wants to keep up... Nope. Yep. Dom slid wide, and Veronica just smelt the blood in the water. Halfway through the race here at Monza, I am become gas. Drag race down to Ascari. Looks like Veronica is gonna just embarrass the Testarossa and Well, what kind of exit did you get? Francesca's not taking that, but it's not her choice. Veronica just broke later and ran a line that could not be touched. Sideways and everything. But Veronica is gonna be getting away with this one. And the hometown crowd is probably a little disappointed because that's 2 Italian cars with 2 Italian drivers behind her, but it's going to be Veronica leading lap 3. And what seems like driving off as well, like she is checking out a little bit already. Let's see if the straight line speed can hold up when she's not getting the slipstream, and Francesca is. It certainly looks like it is. Yep. And she can hit this corner much faster as well. Whoa, that's some late braking. Holy crap, it just scared Veronica a little bit by the looks of things. That's kind of uncharacteristic for a Scuderia Fidanzi driver, much less Francesca's own daughter, to pull a surprise ambush tactic like that. Especially in front of her home crowd. But maybe that's exactly why she did it. Couldn't stand to have them booing in the grandstand. But, well, we're gonna be booing again in a minute because Veronica is not done. This is a battle and a half. Veronica cannot get it done at the braking zone. Primarily because Francesca just had the inside lane, but that is not an excellent exit for Fidanzi. Then again, it wasn't great for Veronica either, so we're kind of just at a stalemate at the moment. Oh, Veronica picked up an inch of slipstream. Can that carry her to the lead? Down the inside at Parabolica. Yep. The NSX returns to the lead as we head up to the white flag in the flag stand. That's off screen, but it's definitely there somewhere. There it is. Not holding the white flag. I've been lied to. I was honestly surprised Eric didn't have an answer for Isabel. Obviously the race isn't done yet, but that is still a solid 2 or 3 seconds between them. Dom is just accepted his fate. He's gonna take his 3rd place, he's gonna move on to the championship and represent Pacific Spirit Racing. But Francesca wants all the marbles. But Veronica ain't giving them up. You just got a glimpse of the distance between the top 3 cars, and Isabel is only just now getting past there. This has not been... If not for this fight for the lead, this would have been a very boring Monza race. Which most would say sounds almost impossible, but it does happen. Twice, you two? Wow. One more corner to go. Veronica got a really good exit from there. I don't think Francesca's got anything to offer. Even with more horsepower and slipstream. Just nowhere near close enough. Final corner for the Honda NSX. Almost going off the track on exit, but it doesn't matter. Veronica Katsuragi will disappoint the Tifosi, so to speak. Grab the W at Monza. Francesca Ferranti, Dominic DePrisco, and eventually Isabel Aspinall will join her at the World Circuit Tours next week with that top 4. And yeah, that's all there is to report. Basically, the only thing is I'm surprised Eric didn't do more. He was not close to Isabel at the end. I thought a GTO would have an advantage over a Mustang on a straight, but I guess not. Misty, even foggy, Autopolis will host the final qualifier of the week. We have gone to our final continent. We have arrived in Asia, in Japan. Although it's cloudy, the weather should hold out just long enough to get 5 laps of racing in. I've never noticed there's a light down there. How have I not noticed that? I was at this race. This is the one race of the week I did, and it went awful. I've had nothing to offer, basically ever since I totaled my S14. That was 12 weeks ago now, almost. That was 3 months ago. I have yet to perform a top 5 finish in 3 months. And it ain't changing today, I can tell you that right now, before we even get to the green flag. It is awful. And all of the Avenir bullshit isn't fucking helping. I suppose it's probably the other way around. It's really that the Avenir bullshit is the main problem, and the fact that I can't even seem to put together a good result on the racetrack isn't fucking helping either. But, in every race there's winners and losers. We gotta find out who the winners are. That's the most important thing. Whatever the fuck me, follow whoever wins. Not the guy who runs 19th. The final race of the week is away from Autopolis Racecourse. I got confused by a car in the background. No, that's what it's supposed to look like. Buck Angelos has attempted 4 races this week. Now, he's finally gotten the front row start he needed. Let's see if we can finally convert that, shall we? But in the meantime, we also have 3 debuting drivers in this race. Yo Watanabe is the POV car, as she mingles with the lower mid-pack of the field already, heading to the slow section. And Black Stallion Motorsports is out here in full force. I mean full force. Well, there's me. Fucking Avenir bullshit mobile. We have Thomas O'Reilly. We've got Siegfried Brandt, whose car I think is actually missing the Black Stallion logo. Yeah, it is. We've got Natsuki, whose car I think is up. No, there it is. And we got Thrasher. Axel's already qualified, so that's why he isn't here. But we also have quite a bit of Taniguchi race team, although not Hikari himself. We do have Blonde. We do have Nakazato. We have Akira Taniguchi. And we have Kazuya Takahata. We've also got 2 new cars being presented by the C1 Racing Project. Setsuko Kuro with an RX-8, which confused me a little because she's normally a Sylvia driver. And Shiro Sasaki in a GT86, which also kind of confused me because his normal car is a fucking Lexus RCF. Makes a little more sense, as he's just gonna embarrass Thrasher's R32 in a straight line. If you can't tell, that's not the stock motor in this car. It is a K-swap, but it's the K-swap of that custom Civic that Garage RCR put out that nobody has made use of the mass production of because front-wheel drive is just kind of a niche option. Yo is already into 8th, only a lap and a quarter into the race. There's also another new driver in the form of Hu Tao. The difference between her and Brianna Tao, that's easy to remember. 1, she's going to be using the Chinese flag. 2, Tao is her actual name, and Hu is her given name. No, backwards. Hu is the family name, Tao is the given name. But she's Chinese, so you say it the other way around. I am not brain. Anyway. Yeah, so we're not going to be... They're not related, because Tao is her actual name, not her last name, like Brianna Tao changed her last name to... Because that is her last name, and her first name was something completely different. I don't actually remember what it was. I don't even know if it was ever... if she ever revealed what it was. As Yo just embarrasses Thrasher on the exit of that turn. I don't know what was going on there. Yeah, so far it's going relatively well for the 3 new cars. They're running 3, 4, 6, only separated by 1 Kazuya Takahata. If he were to make a mistake and everybody started passing Chica or Buck, we could have all 3 of the new cars in the top 4 transfer. Oh, no, that's not the wall! Ouch. I thought I expected better than that from Setsuko. Just a misjudged braking point, finds the back of a WRX, and that will completely change the complexion of the top 4. At the end of this lap, that is. Yo's up to 6th, trying to find some way to... just... you can't just do Takahata like that. He doesn't take shit. Especially not if you're not driving a GTR, which is kind of funny that there's a lot of Nissans in this top group. The top 9 are always kind of together, and we've also got 10th and 12th also being Nissans. Funnily enough, there's a lot of Japanese cars at the track that's raced in Japan. The only ones that aren't Asian in this whole race are Niru's A110 and Thomas's 190E. Every other vehicle is from Asia at least, because Hu Tao is in a Genesis, but that's still Korean, that's still Asian. Yo did get her way ahead of Takahata, now she's trying to manufacture a move on the new girl in the Genesis. That's a huge exit. You can't really just out-accelerate it because they're both four-wheel drive. Same problem that you had with the R34 a minute ago. And actually, out of the top 8, 6 of them are four-wheel drive. The only ones that stand out are Sasaki and formerly Setsuko, but she's pit, so... Now the top 4 has completely changed. Sasaki is trying to take that 4th spot away now that he sees his opportunity. Used to have battled before, I'm fairly certain. Just maybe not in the challenge series itself, but Sasaki will get the advantage on exit. I know how much he probably hates being overtaken by an FR car, but at least he ain't his brother. Yo is up to the back of Buck. This is for the race lead. If I'm Buck, I don't even fight it very hard, just because the main goal is you gotta make it top 4. Yeah, ironically, this is Buck's 4th attempt. The only race he hasn't attempted this week was the first one of the week over at Interlagos, which is ironic, because that means the only race he missed is the one where his teammate, Logan, was the winner. He was there at Daytona, and his other teammate, Ghost Point No, made it, but he was nowhere close. And then he was even further off the mark at Barcelona. But all he needs to do is hang on to the top 4. Against literally a newbie and the guy who's in a new car in Sasaki. But stranger shit has happened. We already saw Kuo get into the back of somebody at turn 1 on the previous lap. his previous lap to start at lap 3. You can never get complacent. I would say the same goes for Sasaki himself, but Takahata is honestly seems to be too busy trying to keep Jean Large at bay. That's his teammate, but he looks like he's getting a little racy back there. Oh, for Christ's sake. Oh, we're 3 wide. Oh, it's pandemonium. Fuck his rear end damage now. Sasaki just stuck his nose in. That's a huge amount of momentum for that 86. He will steal second. Huta will dive, fuck. It's all falling apart. I guess I probably put the bad mojo on him or some shit. Now he's stuck on the wrong lane for the slow section. Takahata goes possibly around the outside. Could Buck hold on the outside? Maybe. Battle of Skylines. There's just 4 Nissans right there. And Buck is the one losing the spot. Suddenly Takahata finds himself in the top 4 after that happens, and he was not long ago busy trying to make sure he stayed 5th. Hutao, Jesus Christ, woman! Unfiltered aggression. Sasaki doesn't usually take that shit. I know him relatively well, and I know Thrasher back here knows him even better. But I don't think he's got a choice. We were out of braking zones on the track pretty much. Unless he does something very crazy, very aggressive, which might be earned on Hutao's end. She has single-handedly completely flipped the top 6 around. And then John Large got ahead of Buck due to him being so far off the preferred line through there. And Yo is just gonna ignore all of it and come out of the final 2 turns and get herself a win at Topless. Hutao and debut will get second with a very banged up front bumper. Sasaki will get third with his first race in his new car. And Kazuya Takahata will manage to clutch 4th place from the jaws of 6th to make the final transfer spot. Yeah, is right. It's probably about how Buck feels right now, as I'm sure he's gonna walk his ass back to the Demon Sports garage. There's a helicopter back there. Squirrel! He's gonna walk his ass back to the Demon Sports garage, and he's gonna get pointed and laughed at for the next several minutes. But that is racing. Especially when Hutao decides that your free subscription to 2nd place has expired. She's not making friends on debut, there's no doubt about that.